Hello and welcome to Chattoon, the show of chat and cartoon. I'm Debbie Tarrier and this is our professional cartoonist, Simon Ellinas.
Hello.
We're here to interview one of the stars of the hit musical Legally Blonde. We're going to meet the one and only Les Dennis.
1, 2, hello. Hello.
Hi Les.
Debbie, how
Nice
you
to
doing?
meet you.
Hello. Simon, nice to meet you. You alright?
You too, yeah, thank you.
Good, come and sit down. Oh, nice dressing room.
So you were a presenter of Family Fortune for 15 years. Was there anybody that you used to get confused with?
It happened only last week in Belfast. A guy said, "Oh, it's Cheggers. You're the famous Keith Chegwin from Swap Shop." And I said, "No, I'm not." He said, "You bloody well are." You know, Cheggers and I seem to be interchangeable. Me, Cheggers and Bobby Davro. Chris Tarrant, Paul Daniels,
Really?
which is an odd one.
You've drawn us a cartoon related to that.
Yes, I have drawn you a Family Fortunes cartoon. The question was, we asked 100 people to name the host of Family Fortunes, and I put some of the answers that might have been given. That's much more of my younger self, and that was me in the mirror today. For a while, they used to call me Les Miserables. The press had the idea that, you know, I was pretty miserable, so...
Do you have any favourite cartoonists at all?
I suppose you'd really call him an illustrator. E.H. Shepard, who did Winnie the Pooh and Wind in the Willows. I think his drawings are just very simple. I love Piglet and Pooh. I just think they're brilliantly
Is that the one that you identify with, Piglet?
Yeah, I got to play Piglet for an animated pilot for Cosgrove Hall, and I did that with Richard Griffiths as Pooh, and I was Piglet. And I remember when we were sitting there recording, my Piglet kind of talked very like that, with a little, you know, little snort. And Richard Griffiths said, "Your Piglet lives on his nerves, doesn't he?" I love Bill Tidy. I think he was a really funny cartoonist, and I used to watch him. He used to do a lot of TV shows. I think it was Quick on the Draw. He used to kind of do it, and you could see him create cartoons, you know, immediately. He's a funny cartoonist.
Oh, and here's Simon happens to have a Bill Tidy cartoon.
Oh, fantastic! Let's have a look at this. Is there any news of the iceberg? Says the polar bear. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Do you actually get any time for sleep? Do you dream, especially with young children as well?
Well, there's a bed in this dressing room, so I come to work for a rest. You know, at the moment I can't remember a lot of my dreams, but there was one the other night that I had. We're in the middle of a house refurb, so the roof was going on this extension. But I was dreaming that because of the rain, the heavy rain we've been having, that the rain was coming in and it was coming in on my kids. So I'm sure a dream analyst would have a field day with
definitely.
it.
Is there anyone you would have liked to have been, or do you have any heroes from the past?
I was lucky enough to have gone to the same school as John Lennon. I went to Quarry Bank, which was where he created the Quarrymen. Whether I'd like to have been him, I don't know, but certainly he's somebody that I absolutely admire. He was the funny Beatle. He was the caustic, witty one, you know, and some of his songs stand the test of time as great political songs, really.
Which one of his songs was your favourite? My
favourite song of John's was In My Life. For me, when I go back to Liverpool, it's a kind of like the soundtrack in my head. I lived up the road from Strawberry Fields. I lived up the road from Menlove Avenue where John lived. So when I go back and I go round all the old haunts of my youth, then I very much have that in my head, you know.
There's a real connection.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you could tell us that not many people know about you?
Okay, I think this is quite a good one. When I was a kid, I read a lot of Mark Twain's books and was particularly a fan of Huckleberry, I nearly said Hound, Huckleberry Finn, Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer. In the middle of the night, crept out of their bedrooms, climbed down into their own garden and then went scrumping apples, robbing apples. And so I was so in awe of this that I thought, I'm going to do it. And I said to my mates, shall we do it? You know, we'll go out tonight, you know, when it's dark and when everybody's asleep. So I got out of my bedroom window this night and went to Ronnie Corbishley and John McKevitt's house and threw stones at their window. They were fast asleep. Didn't come. So then I went and robbed these apples from a garden round the corner. And then the next morning I told them that I'd done it, and the boys didn't believe me. So I did it another night, and the second time I left apples on their gate posts. so that they knew that I'd been out. When they woke up that morning, they could see a
Brilliant.
a
real boy's adventure.
It was a boy's adventure, but I think if you love a story, you sometimes want to emulate it. But you know, it's a good idea.
And it's something you always remember.
Yeah, something I remember.
Scrumping sounds so much better than robbing.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I know.
And now you're in the musical of Legally Blonde, and you sing as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
Surprisingly.
Well, I've seen the film, but I haven't seen the show.
Right,
I don't know how sort of.
It's the same, exactly the same story, but with songs.
Okay, I think we're ready for the reveal of the cartoon now. Are you ready, Simon?
Okay, absolutely.
There we go.
I am ready. Oh wow!
Shall I hold it over here?
That's great. Everything's there. Everything. So you've just been doing that as we've talked there. That's fantastic. I can see all those elements of my life in this cartoon. So, in my life.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank
you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Pleasure.